grab a pair of yoga tune-up balls or therapy ball plus in the tote. And ideally you have both, because I'd like to try to do both hamstring groups at the same time. So it's okay if you have a plus under one leg and a minus on the other, the yoga tune-up balls on the other. So we're going to do a generalized hamstring roll. I don't encourage people to roll their hamstrings on anything other than a chair or a bench or sitting down on blocks maybe, because it doesn't allow your knee to bend. So the chair is great because your knees can just, careen around the edge of the chair. And what that does is it allows the sciatic nerve and the muscles themselves to be in a slackened position. If the knee is locked long, then your sciatic nerve, your nerves only have a certain amount of length, and they when you're just at rest, your nerves they're like little snaky rivers. They're like little S's, like, snakes. But as soon as you lengthen them, the snake lengthens, allows for length, and it allows for its own recoil. So if my leg is long, then I'm taut in my sciatic nerve, and then you're pushing a ball in, which adds additional stretch to the sciatic, and that can be just miserable for all humans. So I'm just going on a hunt here for hamstring tissue. I'm not getting into the specifics. If you want the specifics, here's a pitch for rolling on the anatomy of trains, where we take one ball and we literally carve out the W shape of the hamstrings. But for this class, it'll be good enough for us to just waggle through. And I'm going into the origin or insertion, one of the attachments of the hamstrings on both sides, going towards the ischial tuberosities here. And again, if anything feels nervy, it is nervy. So pop off, move the ball slightly uptown, downtown, or into a neighboring region. I am going to actually switch ball type so that I'm evenly fluffed. It's a manner of fluffing the hamstrings. And then I'm starting to bias the outer hamstrings and the inner by creating a little bit of a slalom shift. And then go ahead and pull the pairs out and grab a hold of your alpha or a single plus, or you can even do a single yoga tune-up ball. We're going to talk to the adductors as well as maybe even the psoas attachment. Oh, this is one of my favorite things to do for my adductors. You've probably, or maybe you've experienced some of the on the floor adductor rolling, but I just think there's an incomparable amount of control that you can get in the rolling here on the adductor mass. So I'm in the high inner thigh. You may have done high inner thigh. Literally, I have an exercise called high inner thigh, but now we're doing it on a chair. So I'm just leaning off to the side and then meeting the soft tissue, doing a little cross fiber across this myotendinous junction zone of, name an adductor, it's there. Gracilis, pectineus, adductor longus and shortus, the brevis, the magnus. Oh God, it just feels so good. And then if I'm able to sort of plink down and stay stationary, I can allow the ball to meld its way towards the lesser trochanter and towards the psoas and iliacus attachment, which is just, so yummy. And just working through a little lengthening. Also change into the bulk of the muscle meat, moving along the grain, moving across the grain. The smaller the ball you use, go ahead and switch sides now. The smaller the ball you use, the more detail you'll get into the area. So the alpha ball right now, it emulates the pressure of a fist. And so this would be the equivalent of your favorite massage therapist or rolfer working their fist into this zone. If you've got the therapy ball plus, it's more akin to an elbow sort of stringing into that area. The yoga tune-up ball is like a thumb. That's our little scalpel tool, and that's very particular with helping to get individual soft tissues and targeting them. Although you most definitely can find individual tissues with the alpha, it just depends on their size. Some of our tissues are larger, some of our smaller, and also some of us are larger and some of us are smaller. We all are different in our masses. Oh, it feels so good. So look how big I can make my inner thigh by squishing, rather than outer thigh, by squishing the stuff that way. Moving fluids, moving blood. This is so refreshing. That's great. Can find some seams between the adductor and the quadriceps group. Oh, just spend as much time here as you want. You can press pause, but we are going to go on.